Randy, thanks for meeting with us at Global Atlanta.
Thank you for having me.
Could you tell us a little bit about Angola and what you're doing there, your impressions of the country, what it's like to live there, and that kind of thing?
Sure. Angola. Okay, well, it was a Portuguese colony for about 500 years. And the culture is a very hybrid culture of Portuguese, Latino type culture, and the native African, which of course has multiple different tribes and dialects and these types of things. So it's a very warm, friendly people, very, very warm place. And I guess depending on your comfort levels of what you need to be comfortable, what you need to, be happy in these types of things. Like the place can be a good place, a wonderful place, or, a place that you don't want to go back to. It all depends. For me, I enjoy the place. I like traveling. I like meeting new people. I like experiencing new things. And, it just takes a little bit of time to get acclimated to the temperature and to the way that things are. I mean, of course, in the city where I was in Soyo, you're walking around and you're one of the only, white people there, and especially, younger white people there. Everybody's looking, and you have people coming up and they want to touch you, and they want to just see this thing that or this person that they've never seen before. And after a while, you kind of get used to that, and then they kind of get used to seeing you, and then you just kind of blend into the rest of the culture. It's not so bad.
What is it about Angola that makes you keep going back and going back?
The opportunity, and this, while I was there under the wing of the first company I was there with, there was many things that I saw as far as opportunities that weren't being fulfilled, and niches, and just these pathways. And then I fell in love with the city where I was. It's very tropical. It's on the Atlantic coast.
Which city is this?
Soyo.
Soyo, okay.
And it's at the very tip, northwestmost point of Angola, and it's right on the Congo River where the mouth opens up and meets the Atlantic Ocean. So you have palm trees everywhere, you have mangoes, you have avocados, you have all this tropical stuff. It's not very built up, so it's very natural, very, what's the word I'm looking for?
Tropical?
Tropical,
yeah.
And just untouched,
right.
Very, very pristine. And okay, there's not air conditioners, but you can of course buy one, whatever. But
what is it? Can you talk a little bit about the opportunities for someone an entrepreneur who wants to go down there?
Entrepreneur that can get into the country, number one, and can speak the language and speak the culture of the people. There's vast amount of opportunities. I mean, you have basically where the country seems to have left off, up until the 2000s, was in the 1960s, and it was basically like a Portuguese, European-esque city. And then you go through this 27-year civil war, destruction, destroying all their production capabilities, their manufacturing capabilities. You drive out all of the, European people who were living there and European descendants, and it's hard to get them to come back. I mean, now it's a lot easier, of course, but I'm talking about earlier. And let's see here. Wait, where was
So if you can, basically it's a country that needs everything.
entrepreneurs, that's where we are. Yeah, so pretty much anything you can think of as far as, we're used to technology, we're used to very shiny things, very fast things, communication, connection, all over the place. Not there, It's hard to even make phone calls sometimes for a long period of times, especially during lunchtime. I mean, some days you can just forget it. If you're going with the internet systems that are offered by local providers, if it's raining or cloudy, I mean, you could lose internet and your cell phone for, days at a time sometimes. I mean, you're completely cut off from the rest of the world and even your local community.
But are the rewards great if you're willing to put up with all of these problems, all these obstacles?
Absolutely. Like the best way during my research that I came across to look at it, in my opinion, for me, is that you have the fastest growing economy in the world. Then you have one of the worst, or the bottom 10 company or countries for desirability to do business, and then also the bottom 10 for corruption. And you know, from the fastest growing economy to the bottom for people wanting to go there, that's a huge gap to fill for, you know, any type of person willing and dedicated to go over there. I mean, it's not easy.
Is it almost like going to the Wild Wild West in the old days?
That's the way I look at it.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, I truly look at it like going back in time. You know, it's like I'm coming from the future a lot of times with all these different developed or more developed or differently developed models and systems. And you can, like, for example, one of the things that our company did was we created a product catalog, which for the consumer level, which from my understanding was the first one that is there. Like, they don't have this magazine where you can look through and say, oh, I'd like to buy this, I'd like to buy this, I'd like to buy this, you know, let alone a website where you, like Amazon, where you can go on and buy these types of things.
Could you talk a little bit about when you get back, what some of the things you're going to be doing, some of the different jobs?
Back to Angola?
Yes.
When I get back to Angola, I have a few different satellite internet systems that we need to have installed for companies. And the other things that we're helping out with in Luanda and in Soyo is basically we're creating an online portal for reservations of inventories such as hotel and car rentals and, you know, even safari vacations, because there are people who go there to work and they bring their families, but, you know, what is there to do for the family? Oh, you know, go see this beach. Sure, we'll go see this beach. Okay, the next day comes. Well, what is there to do? There's this other beach. Go see this beach, you know. But for a family that's going there for a month to stay with, you know, the parent that's working there, the family member that's working there, there's not really a whole lot of opportunities for entertainment. So right now, the whole industry is focused on construction and building hotels and all these different things, you know, which is like the first level, first tier for me in my mind. And nobody's focused on the second level, which is for the people, the consumers. It's very business oriented and not consumer oriented in any ways.